What up, brawlers? Welcome back to Throwin Hands. It's me, Jakob. Daniel was supposed to come back today, but last second changes, It's unfortunate, but what's fortunate is that we got Breck here. Breck, how you doing, man?
Doing good, Jacob. Ready to talk some fighting.
All right, let's hop right into it. Trevin Giles versus Roman Dolidze. If you look at the stats, Roman Dolidze, 5 more significant strikes, 32 more total strikes, had multiple sub attempts on Giles. On paper, he won the fight, but if you look at the eye test, I haven't watched the fight again. I probably will. It did look like Giles won, in my opinion. But, hindsight's always 2020. What were your thoughts on this one, Breck?
Like you said, I might have to rewatch this fight because, watching it live and then now looking at these stats, I'm like, Giles really won looking at the stats. But, like you said, from the eye test, maybe it seemed like Giles won. But it's just interesting when you look at the stats how much he got, outlanded. It's an interesting fight.
Yeah, it was really interesting. Roman Dolidze is a big dude. I totally forgot about that. And he really got gassed there toward the end. He slimmed down to get down 185. I'll give him that. He lost some muscle mass, but it was a tough night out for him. I'll say that. So Roman Dolidze, I think gets a hot prospect of some sort. I think the winner or loser of the Sam Alvey Julian Marquez fight would be a good matchup for Dolidze. What do you have to say?
Yeah, that would be a good fight. And for Giles, does he get a 10 through 15 guy, or does he still have to win a few more before he gets one of those ranked opponents?
I think he's still on the outside looking in.
Okay.
Unless the UFC wants to feed Holland someone easy to get him back in the win column, I don't see.
I don't see that happening.
Nah, we'll talk about Holland in a minute. But on to the next fight, Leonardo Santos versus Grant Dawson. Very close fight. This is really a good matchup to watch. Grant Dawson getting the ground and pound hammer fist KO with 1 second left in the third round. James Krause did his work, man. I mean, he's fantastic. We've interviewed Marquez and what's his face, Kevin Kroom, both members of Glory MMA. But yeah, these guys that coming out of that gym are insane. They're very good fighters. What were your thoughts on this one, man?
This was a really back and forth fight, and it saw Dawson, I think, up 2 rounds going into the third.
Yeah.
And, there was after the fight, there was the live mic picked up, or during and after, but the Dawson's coach, James Krause, said, "I don't know what the score is. I think you're down 2-0. You got to go finish this guy." And Dawson was, he took him down and was just looking to, ground control time and just grind out the win. And Dawson hit him with these hammer fists from a position that you rarely see. Spectacular KO, TKO for the win by Dawson. It's just where he was in the fight. It's kind of remarkable how he won the fight that way.
Yeah, it is pretty remarkable. And Grant Dawson's good, man. I think he has a bright future in this division. I don't think he's top 15 necessarily, not just yet. I mean, he's won how many in the row UFC? 4, 5, 6. So yeah, you know what? Screw it. I say give him Drew Dober or something. I think that'd be a great matchup for him.
I don't know about Dober because Dober's really good, but he called out Clay Guida after the fight.
I mean,
Clay wants young upcoming prospects, and I think it's a fun fight to make.
I think it's a fun fight, but I think Clay Guida might get killed.
Yeah, I would favor Dawson in this one, but hey, if Guida agrees to it, I'm all game to see that fight.
Yeah, he also called out Paul Felder. I mean, that's Irish Dragon. When's he gonna fight again? That's what I want to know.
I love Paul Felder though.
Dude, the commentary
spot on. Fitzgerald, Felder, and Bisping is like the best commentary team. It's so much. They're so insightful.
Yeah, and they also have some fun. I feel like I love Bisping, DC, and Feld and Fitzgerald, but it seems like Bisping and DC just fight. But all right, on to a ranked bantamweight matchup in the women's division: Marion Reneau versus Macy Chiasson, rather. Chiasson looked great in this fight. She was on. She wasn't exactly accurate, but when she landed her significant strikes, it seemed like they did a lot of damage to Marion Reneau. What were your thoughts on this one, man?
Yeah, Macy, outlanded her. I mean, if you look at the takedown, she got taken down one more time, but that really didn't really play a factor into the fight, only because Macy was our Marion Reneau was down on the scorecard. She was looking for takedowns, but looked great on the feet, outlanded her in total strikes and significant strikes, and won a unanimous decision.
Yeah, great fight on Chasson's part. Let's next for Marion Reneau. I don't know. It's bantamweight is really interesting. I mean, Julia Avila maybe, but Avila just got kicked out of her gym in Oklahoma. I don't know if you heard that. Yeah, she got kicked out. I don't know what to say. I don't know the details, but or Karo Rosa, that'd be a good fight, or Kianzad. But I think Chasson, I think the Kunitskaya fight would be pretty good for her. I think that I'd watch that. What do you have to say?
I don't know about top 5 right away, but definitely 6, 7, 8. Look at those names for her next fight. Like I'm looking at
Ketlin Vieira, that'd be a good fight.
Vieira, that would be a really good fight.
And I mean, Pena's probably next up for the title shot apparently. So sacrifice. It's gonna be like Abraham sacrificing his son to God. That's what's gonna be like. Well, but God won't save Juliana Pena. All right, that's 13 years of Catholic school, guys. Tai Tuivasa versus Harry Hunsaker. I watched Hunsaker's last fight on YouTube. Duke can hit hard, but shooey. Tai Tuivasa, man, he's on a little bit of a rule. Stefan Struve than this. I don't. He's not going to be champion, I don't think, but I think he could be a solid fighter for these up and comers coming up. What do you have to say about Tai Tuivasa's win over Hunsaker?
And bam, I love this guy. I mean, the shoey is obviously iconic now at this point, but you got to give a lot of respect to Harry Hunsaker. I think he took this fight on 6 days' notice. Yeah. So it's a tough coming in there on 6 days' notice and winning. It's only ever been done a few times, But Tai Tuivasa looked great on the feet. Those leg kicks were really hurting Hunsaker, and then he went in because the leg kicks were hurting too much. He tried to get in the pocket, and that's when Tuivasa dropped him a couple of times, and the fight was over.
Yeah, it was 4 days' notice on Hunsaker's part. So that's really good.
Respect to him for taking that fight.
Yeah, especially big old heavyweights. Anything can happen. But I forget who the ref was, but great job on the ref's part by stepping in quickly on this one. Hunsaker gets a solid prospect next. But when we talk about what's his face, Tuivasa,
I think he deserves a ranked opponent like 14, 15, or 13. Not 13. I wouldn't give him Tom Aspinall right away.
Give him Oleinik or something.
I was thinking Oleinik or Pavlovich. 14, 15 for me. That's where Tuivasa's next opponent should be.
Yeah. Gotta love Bam Bam. Gotta love him. All right. Two guys on the lighter side that like to sling some leather. Adrian Ynez versus Gustavo Lopez. Ynez, man, hit him hard. What do you have to say about this one, man?
Yeah, Ynez, another one of those young, up-and-coming fighters from Houston. Really controlled this fight the whole way through, and Lopez's game plan wasn't great to stand with Ynez. Just Ynez's I believe kickboxing experience played a factor, but Ynez was just patient, picking it apart in the feet, and just it showed a lot of maturity in the fight too. Not going for the knockout right away and waiting to the third round to just find an opening, and he did, and he landed a perfect punch that dropped Lopez and ended the fight. And this guy Ynez is, I think they call him Baby Masvidal, but
he's legit.
Yeah, he's legit, man.
Yeah, I mean, I know he only has 2 wins in the UFC, and I think he came off the Contender Series, if I'm not mistaken. But I don't see why not give him a top 15 fight with the way he's performed his last 2 fights. He's really, really good.
I think he is, but I think I want to say maybe he's 1 fight away from a ranked opponent. I wonder if he's not quite there yet.
Yeah, but he's close. He's close. And for Lopez, I don't know, man. He's 12-6. I guess give him one of these young guys to get him back on track. What do you think?
Yeah, he's relatively young, so he's just got to work on some things, but he wasn't terrible in the fight. It's just it was more about how good Ynez was, you know.
Yeah, that's a good point. All right. I have heard no word that Cheyenne Bays followed Montserrat Ruiz home. That was interesting. But Ruiz, man, I thought Bays was going to clip her on when Ruiz went inside for a takedown because she kind of sticks her chin out. But Ruiz is one hell of a grappler. I gotta say that headlock or head and arm lock, man. But Bays could not find a way to get out of that. Montserrat landed 136 total strikes with only 15 significant strikes, but that top control time was nuts. What were your thoughts on her performance?
Do you see what the control time actually was? Was it like 12 minutes or something?
It was a lot.
It was ridiculous. Like you looked away for a second. You're like, oh, maybe they got up. No, Ruiz still had her, and a lot of those strikes were just like soft hammer fists. Didn't really do a lot of damage. But yeah, it's just the control time won of the fight, and just keeping her down and landing a little bit when she did. And yeah, the post fight interaction was pretty funny, and it was a really impressive display by Ruiz.
Comedy gold. I'll follow you home. Bays, I don't know what's next for that. I think obviously another prospect, but for Ruiz, I think she can see somebody else right outside the top 15 with that incredibly dominant performance, or maybe I think she'd be a great step in if somebody, drops out and she wants to be short replacement for a person in the top 15. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. I just, even though she really controlled the fight, she didn't land a lot of damage. So I'd like to see her get another win on the board before she gets in those rankings.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. All right. Song Canaan versus Max Griffin. Max Griffin brought the pain. That was a nasty shot. That little 1-2 combo put Song Canaan on the ground. So Max Griffin's been around a while. Song Canaan is a great prospect, and he's nowhere near done. But this was a great performance from Max Griffin. What do you have to say?
Yeah, if you look at the numbers, the strikes were pretty even on the feet, but you could just tell Song Canaan's strikes were not doing much, and Griffin's strikes were doing a lot more damage, and it eventually led to a brutal KO. His body folded. It reminded me of John Jones' Lyoto Machida.
Yeah,
it was just folded like a. It kind of reminded me of that a little bit. Not as brutal as that, but when he got hit with that second shot when he was falling down, his body just went numb. But yeah, like we just gotta talk up Max Griffin, man. This guy, unbelievable prospect, and I think he said he wants to fight at the Texas card, 261, I believe, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'd love to see him on it. I think they should put him on it after that performance.
Screw it, why not? I mean, Max Griffin's been around a while. But yeah, and for Song Canaan, I don't know what's next for him. It's kind of tough to tell. But anyway, to the main event of the evening, Derek Brunson versus Kevin Holland. These guys did not. Derek Brunson made it boring, but he won. It worked. And if Kevin Holland would work on his takedown defense, damn, he could be a problem in this division. He was piecing up Brunson on the feet. I think you and I can both agree with that. And they both landed similar significant strike numbers. But Kevin Holland was the first person to take Derek Brunson's down in the UFC. That's kind of crazy. But what were your thoughts on this one, man?
Yeah, it was really interesting. I didn't agree. I don't know if you saw Dana's comments after the fight that like Kevin Holland had like a mental breakdown in the middle of the cage and couldn't deal with being taken down over and over again. I just think that's who Kevin Holland is. Like if you listen to him on the Joe Rogan podcast, he's out there. You know what I mean? And he just got beat by his really supreme wrestler in Derek Brunson. And Derek Brunson kind of had to go to that game plan because he got rocked on the feet a couple of times by Holland. And you just wonder if going forward from here, like I don't know if you saw, but I saw maybe like Holland could be going to AKA because like
Ooh.
DC commented like can't wait to see you in San Jose soon on his Instagram post. So
Oh
makes
shoot.
so maybe he actually was looking for Khabib to coach him. Maybe that wasn't just like a whoever's
Yeah.
cage side coached me. But like you said, on the feet, Kevin Holland's like he's there already to me. But like this fight displayed his takedown defense is his biggest weakness. I thought he was actually great defensively on the bottom. I can't believe how many elbows he ate and survived, and that arm triangle choke that Brunson had him in for like 45 seconds. I thought that was right.
Yeah.
And Holland just wrote it out. And if
he's tough.
He's tough, man. If he could just get that takedown defense improved and add a little more submissions, because I thought that was the only way he could win this fight. But we got to give, everybody's talking about Holland, but we really got to give credit to Derek Brunson and put some respect on his name. I mean, Shabazi and now Holland, two, extremely hyped up prospects, just ends them. And I think he third most wins in the middleweight division.
Yeah.
UFC history. I mean, he deserves a top 5. He deserves a top 3 opponent, in my opinion, next.
Yeah, I mean, he's got to wait for something to shake up though at the top of the division. I think Paulo Costa is a great fight.
I think it's a great fight. That's the fight to make to me because, or Cannoneer, but he's probably still recovering from that injury he suffered in the Whitaker fight.
Yeah.
But
damn, that's a great fight. Costa Brunson.
Costa Brunson is a great fight to make.
And then when we talk about Kevin Holland, I saw somewhere that he wants to try and get with a nutritionist and go down to 170.
I think that could be a really good idea for him because, like, he's a big guy, but he's not. I wouldn't say he's super skinny, but
he's lean.
He's lean. I wonder how well he would do against some of those welterweights. I think he would have a little more success. The only problem is with the welterweight division is there's a lot of really good grapplers. Like, I wouldn't like Kevin Holland going up against Usman or Gilbert Burns from the bottom,
Yeah, and I think Kevin Holland would do well in the middleweight division because he doesn't have to cut.
Yeah.
And speaking of what's next for him, loser of Till Vittoria, I think that's what he gets next if he wants it.
Yeah, or the loser of Hermance and Shabazian.
Ooh, yes. There's a lot of options for him.
A lot of options.
But, I mean,
I think he'll improve. I think he'll be a better fighter after this going forward.
Yeah, and if he goes to AKA,
yeah, that's
scary.
Yeah.
I mean, and people are like, he should stop talking, but I'm like, that's just how he is. Like,
he's always done that, I don't know how you feel. I saw a lot of people saying this too. I now going forward, I'm going to tune in for every Kevin Holland fight just because of the entertainment factor he brings to fights. Like, yeah,
it's fun.
It's just fun to watch him fight.
He's really good too. Did you see that one championship signed Gordon Ryan?
Yeah, that's interesting. Like, I don't know if you follow him on Instagram, but he's always talking trash to like everybody. He always is like, I need more money, but he'll get some in one. It's just interesting because he's like the best jiu-jitsu guy in the world. But then again, if he's gonna be, fighting MMA, he's gonna have to be on the feet. So we don't know how well his stand-up game is.
I mean, he's with Team Alpha Male, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, there's plenty of good guys over there to train with. So I'm not exactly concerned about. But dude, if he gets you in his grasp, it's over.
Essentially, yeah.
Yeah, and he's only 25 too. Like, and he's won the Eddie Bravo Invitational 5 times, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he's something else. Look at his record. Good Lord. That's nuts. But anyway, we have did you see that Mike Tyson turned down $25 million for a Evander Holyfield trilogy?
I did see this, but I think it's not the worst decision on Mike's part because I think the Holyfield camp wanted it on Memorial Day, and I think Tyson wants more months to prepare for a fight like that. Because I don't know how you felt the Roy Jones fight. It kind of had it looked like me like they had an agreement, like not a lot of headshots.
Huh?
Like we'll just work the body. I don't know if Holyfield and Tyson fight. I think they're gonna want to like hurt each other.
Yeah.
The trilogy, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
they're gonna have to go through some conditioning.
so I think we'll see this fight just a little bit down the line. More time for the guys to. I mean, they're older. They need more time to get prepared too.
Huh?
How about Shabazi and Hermanson, man?
That's a fight.
What a terrible matchup for Shabazian after a loss to Brunson. They give you the guy ranked above the guy you just lost to. That is brutal for Shabazian.
And Jack Hermanson is a phenomenal grappler.
Phenomenal. Yeah.
Like, that's just unfair. It really is.
It's gonna be a good fight though.
Yeah, it will be. It'll be awesome. I mean, if they're both on one loss skid, so whoever loses is in a pickle. George St. Pierre is telling Connor, get out of your comfort zone. If you want, or you will go down.
Yeah.
He's right.
He is right. I don't know if we'll see motivated Connor for this trilogy, you know?
I think we will.
I think we will too. I think we'll see a different Connor. Even though he looked calm going into the Poirier fight and stuff.
He looked in shape. He looked in very good shape.
True, but even after the fight, it seemed like he had his mind on the Pacquiao match.
Yeah.
Because he even said, like, I was preparing for Pacquiao and then the leg kicks got me. That's MMA for you.
Yeah.
But, like, it seems like if he just focuses fully on this fight, it should be a really good trilogy.
Yeah. I mean, if it weren't for the trilogy, Poirier would be fighting for the belt.
I don't blame Poirier, though, because
no.
When in your life are you going to get an opportunity to fight for this amount of money? You know what I mean? He's going to make a lot of money.
And Conor McGregor for a third time?
Yeah, and, like, this money can help Poirier's, the Good Fight Foundation get that more, kickstarted and his hot sauce, line. I gotta get some, man. But
I've heard it's good.
That this fight will basically set him up for life. So you can't blame him for not taking the title shot. And even if he wins this fight, he just gets the immediate. He faces the winner of whoever wins versus Chandler Oliveira.
Yeah.
I don't know how you feel. Even if he loses, he's still gonna fight for the title or a number one contender shot.
Yeah, let's be honest. I mean, we got to look at who Dustin Poirier has mowed through in his past 8 fights. Like, it's nuts. I mean, you got Jim Miller always looking for the armbar.
Yeah.
Anthony Pettis, Gaethje, Alvarez, Holloway. He lost to Khabib. He beat Dan Hooker, and he beat Conor McGregor. Like,
yeah. And I mean, in the Khabib fight, closest we've ever seen Khabib to being in trouble. He had him in that guillotine pretty deep.
Yeah, I mean, like he said, if he set his hooks in, he probably would have gotten it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Poirier is on another level right now. Like,
yeah, I feel bad for Gaethje. I wonder who Gaethje fights.
Yeah, I mean, he should have been. It should have been Oliveira Gaethje, in my opinion.
Probably. I wonder, like, did they give Gaethje Ferguson? They wouldn't do that again.
Dan Hooker, like
maybe.
Or,
no,
RDA.
Maybe RDA.
That's a good fight.
RDA wants to fight Islam, so.
Gosh, Justin Gaethje's not going to fight for another few months.
Yeah, that's the thing. He's going to have to wait for fights to happen.
And he's not getting younger. It's not like he's 24. He's 32.
Yeah.
I don't know, but dang, it should have been Gaethje. I don't get why a Michael Chandler knockout over Dan Hooker constitutes a title shot.
More importantly, where does Kevin Lee fit into this?
Yeah, what is up with Kevin Lee? Let's talk about Kevin Lee for a second. Who's he going to fight?
I don't know. Has there been any news on Kevin Lee? Like,
no, not that I know of. Let me go to like Tapology or something. Kevin Lee. That's like that's one of the best memes on MMA Reddit. Where does Kevin Lee fit into this?
Not as good as top 10 houses sold by.
Yeah. Let's be honest. When are we going to get that video? Or should we do it ourselves?
No. Only Al can do that.
Only Al can do it. But dang, like Kevin Lee's been on a skid, man. I don't know what's up with him. That Tony Ferguson fight changed him.
Yeah, and he lost to Oliveira last. That was that Brazil card.
Rafael dos Anjos, Ally Quinta, too.
Maybe
I'm talking, brother.
Maybe Kevin Lee, Gillespie, because we saw it already. But
well, we know what happened.
you know what happened? I don't know. It's interesting. There's a lot of confusion in the lightweight right now.
Yeah, it's a mess. I'm talking, brother. I'm talking. That's one of the best memes. I'll ankle pick you. I loved how he said that to Fabricio Verdum. I'll ankle pick you.
I know, he's got 150, 120 pounds on him. And he was dead serious too.
I saw this on YouTube.
Verdum in reality though would have destroyed him.
Yeah, I saw this. Tony Ferguson's the type of guy to poke your fingers with his eyes. All right. I'm excited for this fight, man, on Saturday.
Yeah, it's a really good card coming up, and I mean, I don't know how you feel. I feel like when the heavyweight title is on the line, it feels bigger to me than any of the other titles. I know that sounds crazy because lightweight's considered the best, but when the heavyweight fights, it's to me the most entertaining fights.
I think lightweight. There's just something about the lightweight title that's like, oh dang. And light heavyweight to an extent.
Yeah.
But dude, I mean, the tension between tension in the Adesanya Blachowicz fight was nuts. I've never felt anything like that watching a fight, to be honest.
And I know we'll preview this later in the week, but Sean O'Malley back. Tyron Woodley, Vicente Luque. Wow, what a fight.
Tyron Woodley. That's the seed. Dude, I bet you Tyron Woodley loses 3 rounds of decision.
Maybe.
He's lost 15 straight rounds.
Yeah, not good.
Yeah. Kalabib. Kama Worthy's on the card.
Yeah.
Another Throwin Hands alum. Sweet. Well, that's exciting. Thomas Almeida is going to be a tough test for O'Malley, though.
Yeah.
He's really good. And then, I'm looking at this Jillian Robertson versus Morena Maverick fight. That's a good fight.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man, there's a lot of good fights on here, man. Bukauskas is on the Fight Pass prelims. What? Then we got Menafield and Knight. That's a good fight. All right. Was there one other thing I want to talk about? Let's talk about weight cutting for a sec, man. Dude, I mean, we talked about it a little bit on Saturday when the episode came out, but dude, that was jacked up with Stolyarenko.
Yeah, a lot of people were outspoken about it. I know Chris Cyborg weighed in, so I know Dana White wasn't too happy with that probably. But it's more weight classes are needed, and I think they should kind of adopt the one. Joe Rogan always talks about this. He likes what one does with the water tests and the hydration tests, and you fight it more a natural weight and don't cut as much weight. I think that's kind of the future.
Yeah, I hope so too, and the fact that they made her weigh in again was ridiculous.
That was a little scary. Yeah, I don't know why they did that.
I'm like, she's not going to fight tomorrow. She's not fighting tomorrow.
Yeah.
That was gross. Anyway, do you have anything else to add?
Nothing.
All right. We'll see you guys for the preview of UFC 260, Stiopik versus Ngannou.